Hey everyone, it's Camille and Alivia. We are in Chicago at the beautiful Palmer Hotel, and we just gave an amazing workshop yesterday about AI and bias.
Yes, and this was our first time really exploring different many different use cases on why certain systems could be fair or unfair and how they are. And I think we really got down to the data, and how the data is being used and the questions that's being asked about the data, and exploring how to use different tools. So we also identified that this isn't a beginner workshop. Like, you definitely need to come into the workshop with a general understanding of what machine learning is, how it's currently being used. Therefore, you can think about these use cases and understand how toolkits and frameworks built around building more fair models can be used.
Yeah, I think that was something we identified pretty late into the process, but it's something to think about. If you as a creator are leading or doing workshops or trying to teach people, give yourself some credit if you're actually working on something that's a little complicated and not easy to be understood, and be aware of that, so that way you can set people's expectations but also attract to yourself the people that can understand the problems that you're presenting.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is a good highlight from the workshop was the body information that we presented. We went through a couple different decks. I think it was nice that we split them up into decks instead of one long presentation. A couple different decks with examples, hands-on examples, anecdotal examples. We kind of split those out, made them a little different. And then we had a bit of a hands-on portion where we were talking about a framework that was already online. This is the What If tool. And it's a great visualization tool. That's something we had to stress. It's a visualization tool that helps you visualize bias. And you get different sliders, and you can work with the data. It's in a code lab form, so that makes it easy for you to go in there wherever you are, use the cloud to kind of analyze some of these ideas. And then the other tool that we talked about was the IBM 360 AI Fairness tool. And that one is really interesting because instead of just allowing you to visualize it, it will help check your bias for you to see if it thinks that you have a bias somewhere. And then it will also apply different algorithms and different ways to go ahead and debias or to reweigh your ideas, to look at things that could be affecting your data in the wrong way, and then how to throw those out so you can see what it would look like if those weren't in there. So there are a couple different tools available to you right now if you're looking at how to debias the data. And I think another really interesting comment that I came across, this wasn't even someone who was in our workshop, but his name is Spe, and he was talking about how he doesn't like out-of-the-box solutions. And that's really key, that even though we're gonna invite you to look at these tools and these ideas, don't be going for the out-of-box solutions. Do your own creation, make your own things for your specific use cases. But I think these help you start the conversation. If you're not an engineer and you're trying to present these ideas to developers and engineers, it gives you some key concepts and ideas to throw at someone to maybe start a conversation.
Another thing that was very interesting and feedback we got from our workshop participants is that they really felt like initially they couldn't contribute to the conversation in terms of machine learning engineers or data scientists who are currently working in their organizations. They didn't feel like they could participate in the conversation, but I thought it was really important to explain to them that no matter where you are, if you understand like the input and the output of the model, and that should be simple enough for someone who is not a data scientist, someone who's not a machine learning engineer, they should be able to have conversation with a product manager, a DevOps engineer, and many people should be participating in the product development phase to understand like what this model is going to be used for. And you can definitely have a major impact just participating in the conversation. And so in terms of making these models fair and unbiased in the first place, when you have a diversity of people, especially people who are familiar with the company's needs and the product's needs and can contribute to that conversation, that's going to make for a better product. So that's important.
Yeah, we wanted to be aware of like the politics at play at different teams and different companies, but at the same time, we still wanted to encourage our participants and encourage you that even if you don't feel like you're completely welcome to the conversation, those chances that you get when someone says, "Does anybody have any questions or concerns?"
Yeah.
That's where you need some ammo, and that's where studying these ideas, asking me or Olivia to maybe chime in a little bit on what you would like to present. That can give you the ability to make a product much better for your customers, to push kind of past those KPIs and go more to the customer experience, and being a more well-rounded and participant in the whole tech process itself.
Yes.
Wow, I think that sums it up, right?
Pretty much. And we are definitely iterating on this workshop. So we would love to like work with your team,
yes,
and introduce this workshop and really go through some of the use cases that we found. And I'm sure we're going to continue to find more.
Let us know. We will show up. We'll do a virtual workshop. We'll put together things for your team to take afterwards. You let us know how you can use something that's facilitated the way that we like to facilitate things, and we'll be there.
Awesome.
See you next time.